All right, let's talk about something that so many of us have dealt with, that nagging, frustrating pain right in your shins. We're going to dig into one of the most common pieces of advice you hear for fixing it, and you might be surprised by what we find. So, you've got shin pain, and chances are someone, somewhere, a friend, a trainer, an article online has told you to just grab a yoga block and do a stretch. It's kind of treated like this simple go-to fix. But is it really the magic bullet it's made out to be? The story goes that using a block for this specific stretch targets the muscle right on the front of your shin, relieving that pain. But, we don't just take things at face value here. We like to test them. So today, we're going to find out if that's actually what's happening. Okay, first things first. Before we can even talk about the stretch, we have to understand the hardware. So let's get into a super quick, super important anatomy lesson. Think of your lower leg like a game of tug-of-war. You've got two opposing teams. On the front, there's a muscle called the tibialis anterior. Its whole job is to lift your foot up towards your shin. But on the back, you've got your big calf muscles. Their job is to push your foot down, like you're stepping on the gas pedal. They do the exact opposite things. And knowing this difference is absolutely crucial because it helps you figure out where your pain is really coming from. If the ache is right there on the front of your shin, we often call that anterior shin splints, and it's linked to that front muscle. But you can also get pain in the back, which we call posterior shin splints. And there's even a deeper muscle back there that can cause things like arch pain. It's all connected. Okay, so front muscles pull the foot up. Back muscles push the foot down. Got it? Good. Because with that in mind, let's get to the main event and see what that yoga block is actually doing. So here it is, the stretch. I bet you've seen this a million times. You pop the ball of your foot up on a block or a step, and then you just let your heels sink down towards the floor. Simple, right? So let's just pause and think for a second. We just learned about the opposing muscles. So when you perform this action, when you let your heel drop down and away from your shin, which muscle group are you actually making longer? The one on the front or the one on the back? And there's your answer. It's pretty clear, right? This stretch is all about the back of your leg. By dropping your heel down, you're lengthening those calf muscles. You are not stretching the front muscle, the tibialis anterior, one bit. In fact, you're pretty much doing the opposite of what that muscle is designed to do. Now, this is so important. Does that mean the yoga block is useless? No way. It's an amazing tool. It's just misunderstood. Its real job in this stretch is to give you a fantastic stretch for your posterior calf. This is great for loosening up tight calves, it can help with posterior shin splints, and it's a huge boost for your overall ankle mobility. It's a great tool, just maybe not for the reason you thought. Okay, myth busted. The block stretch isn't for the front of your shin. So what the heck actually works? Let's move on and talk about what a smarter, more complete plan for shin pain really looks like. This quote really hits the nail on the head. There's no single magic pill, no one secret stretch. Real, lasting recovery is about putting together a whole plan, not just relying on one thing, and this is basically what a real professional plan involves. It's got 4 parts. First up, load management. Notice it doesn't say stop everything. You just want to swap high-impact stuff like running for low-impact stuff like swimming to give the tissues a break. Second, biomechanical correction. This is where you play detective. What's the root cause? Worn out shoes, the way your foot moves. This is where proper footwear or insoles might come in. Third, you've got symptomatic treatment. This is your immediate relief, things like ice or massage to calm down that initial pain. And finally, and this is key, gradual strengthening. Once it feels better, you have to slowly and safely rebuild the muscles so the problem doesn't just come roaring back. All right, we've busted a myth, we've built a real plan. Let's finish up with the most important part, the rules of the road for practicing safe and recovering smart. This is it, the golden rule. It is non-negotiable. A little discomfort during a stretch is one thing, but sharp, stabbing, or sudden pain, that's your body screaming, stop. Pushing through that is how a small problem turns into a big chronic injury. And if you do feel that sharp pain, you need to remember this simple acronym, PRICE. It's your first aid response: protection, ice, compression, and elevation. It's the proven way to get swelling and pain under control right after an injury happens. But here's the thing about price. It manages the symptoms, it doesn't fix the problem. If your shin pain keeps coming back, it's because there's an underlying reason. Maybe it's your running form, maybe it's your foot structure, and until you address that root cause, you'll just be chasing the pain forever. So after all of this, what's the single most critical factor for getting better? It's this number right here, 1. Because while the internet can give you a million ideas, there's only one person who can give you a perfect diagnosis for your specific pain, and that's a qualified professional who can actually look at you. And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. Today, we've learned a lot about the how your muscles work, how that stretch works, how a treatment plan works. But the real question you need to ask yourself is why? Why is it happening to you? Because finding your why is the only way to make sure that pain goes away and stays away. Thanks for tuning in.